Public Television. Again, the Civil War coming up in just a couple of minutes, and it's important to become a partner in this. As I mentioned a little earlier, 2 of every 10 of you are supporters of Northwest Public Television, 2 in 10. And we'd like to see 5 in 10 or 8 in 10 or even 10 in 10. So do pick up your phone and call the 800 number, 1-800-922-4220, and really become a partner. It's very easy to do. Just a couple dollars a month, $10 a month, $100 a year, whatever you feel you can afford is much appreciated. So do call, don't be shy, 1-800-922-4220 is the number on the screen. And give us a call. In a little while, we're going to tell you about some very fine gifts we can give to you for participating in Northwest Public Television, some Civil War stuff for you, and that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll tell you about that just right before the Civil War starts. So do pick up the phone and call now, 1-800-922-4220, and become a partner now in Northwest Public Television.
I'm Jeff Harvey. Many of you work for companies that will match your contribution to Northwest Public Television. Westinghouse, Boeing, U.S. West, GTE, Potlatch, and many others will send us contributions matching yours. Those matching dollars, along with your support, will help us make our programming budget of $700,000 this year. We need your support to make that budget work for you. With the programs you're seeing right here this week on Northwest Public Television, call us at 1-800-922-4220.
Remember, it's important to become a partner of Northwest Public Television. We do have suggested gift levels, but whatever you can afford, whatever you can fit into the budget is what's important. So go to the phone now, dial that number on your screen, and become a partner with us at Northwest Public Television. Help us. We do our job this side of the camera. You do yours on that side of the camera. Go to the phone. Do it now while we've taken a break in our programming. Dial the number on your screen and become a partner with us at Northwest Public Television. We have some people to thank who have now become members of Northwest Public Television. There's Barbara Mueller. She's from Spokane. We really enjoy knowing that people in Spokane are watching us and appreciate us. And there's an anonymous ranch hand from Hooper, Washington. Hooper, Washington's got to be somewhere between Pullman and Washington. I'm not exactly sure. But I want you to remember that Northwest Public Television covers a vast area, but there's no one major metropolitan area that we can draw from, such as Spokane or Seattle and some of the other larger cities. So all of you out there, wherever you are on this map, if you're in Pullman or Moscow or Farmington up here, or how about Ritzville? Or down in Connell and Colotis or Prescott near Walla Walla, give us a call. Do it right now. Go to your phone right now, dial that number on your screen, and become a partner with us here at Northwest Public Television. We can't do it without you. You're the important person. You are the public in Northwest Public Television. We are here for you, each and every one of you that watch us, no matter if you watch us 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, once a week, once a year. Let us know that we're important to you. So go now and dial that number on your screen.
And the number is 1-800-922-4220. During the Civil War, we have some very special gifts we'd like to give to you if you contribute to Northwest Public Television for $500 donation over the next year. We have a 9-tape set of the Civil War. The program you're going to be watching now, we'll send you the video on that. 14 million Americans watched the Civil War the last time we ran it and are watching it this time. That's more people than were in the entire Confederacy. But this is one of the most moving series of television history, and for $500 gift to us over the next year, we'll send that gift to you. Also, for $150 over the next year, we have the Civil War book, which is an illustrated history of the Civil War. It's a nice companion to the show you're about ready to watch, with 500 magnificent black and white photographs and color illustrations from 150 archives across the country. Many of them had never been published before this book. It's by award-winning author Jeffrey C. Ward, who very skillfully blends his narrative with original essays by distinguished historians and several eloquent people from around the country. It's the Civil War book, a wonderful companion. That's for a $150 donation to Northwest Public Television. Also for $100, we have the Civil War battlefields video. It's a tour of some of the most famous battlefields during the Civil War, Bull Run and Antietam, Fredericksburg, Gettysburg, and over a century later we still all recognize those names. It's an emotionally charged video that actually takes you to the Civil War battlefields, and that's for a $100 contribution to Northwest Public Television. If you are using Visa or MasterCard tonight or charge it in any way, we have the letter that was read during the first episode of the Civil War by Sullivan Ballou. It's a very moving and eloquent letter that he wrote to his wife 7 days before he died at Bull Run. That's if you use Visa or MasterCard or some sort of charging system to Northwest Public Television. Do contribute, and do sit back now, and sometime during the Civil War, give us a call during the first part of the Civil War. Give us a call at 1-800-922-4220 and get involved in Northwest Public Television, the finest television programming in the world. As we settle back to watch the Civil War, don't forget we're here, the phones are, and we're ready to answer them. Call us now. We're at day number 6 of the spring membership drive, Northwest Public Television. Good evening. You're, of course, watching one of the finest documentaries ever done in the history of television, the Civil War. We'll get back to the Civil War in a few minutes. During this particular break, our goal is 10 pledges. So pick up the telephone, 1-800-922-4220, and give the Beta Sigma Phi from Potlatch, Idaho. They're answering our phones today. We thank them very much for answering the phones. This is a volunteer job. Most of the people working here tonight are volunteers. We'd like you to be a volunteer too and pick up the phone. Give us a call at 1-800-922-4220 before we go back into the Civil War, and tell us how you can help us to continue to bring this quality of program to you. So it's an 800 number. We'll pay for the call, and you help us bring these kinds of programs to you in the future. 1-800-922-4220 is the phone number for Northwest Public Television. We would like to thank Pizza Haven and Dismores, who have been feeding us this evening. We appreciate that. It is hard, hot work doing this kind of work, and so they're feeding us and taking care of us. We thank them very much. 1-800-922-4220. Our goal is 10 pledges this break. Be one of the 10. It's very easy to do. Just pick up the phone and call. These very nice volunteers, they're not threatening. They'll ask you some real easy questions, and you can become a partner in the finest television programming in the country. 1-800-922-4220 is the number. Don't be shy. Call now and support Northwest Public Television. Without your support, it doesn't work. It's as simple as that. So become a partner with us in this fine television programming. 1-800-922-4220. Pick up the phone and call now.
I'm often asked why I think there's been such a tremendous response to the Civil War. And I guess for me the answer lies in the words of Abraham Lincoln when he spoke directly to the South during his first inaugural address in 1861.
In your hands, my dissatisfied countrymen, and not in mine, is the momentous issue of civil war. The government will not assail you. You can have no conflict without being yourselves the aggressors. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to every living heart and hearthstone all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the Union when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature.
Those mystic chords of memory remind us what connects us all as Americans, and people have responded from the better part within themselves, the better angels of our nature. And your response truly has been overwhelming. I have bags of cards and letters from all over America, and everywhere I go, people stop and tell me how much they enjoyed the Civil War. This has been an incredible experience for me as a producer, and I really do thank all of you. But there's another kind of response you can give this series that is just as important, and that's your response to tonight's pledge breaks. Believe me, everyone involved in public television looks very carefully at the results of pledge drives. The ratings, the cards, the phone calls, they all indicate that a program was watched and enjoyed by an audience. But the number of pledges a program receives indicates even more. One call from you to this number shows that you believe in this kind of programming so much that you are willing to invest your dollars in its future. That's a powerful message that only you can deliver to this station. Call now. Thank you.
Just a few minutes left now before we rejoin the program. I want to remind you that there is none of the program being cut out. You're seeing the whole thing in its entirety. We're just pausing the tape momentarily to ask your support. 1-800-922-4220. Pledge your support for Northwest Public Television and help us make our programming budget. I'd like to thank a few people tonight from this coverage area here. Pamela Brammer from the Lenore and Melrose area, I believe that's in Idaho. William Stifler from Spokane, Mr. and Mrs. Charles McNeil from Pullman, and Shirley Mansfield from Kennewick. Thank you all. This is a large coverage area. Has a lot of wheat fields, a lot of onion fields, a few vineyards, but not a lot of people, so we need your support in extra numbers than we might if we were in a big urban area. We do need you to call and pledge your support for public television. 1-800-922-4220. I want to remind you, too, that tonight's programming is made possible on Northwest Public Television by the United Artists Cable of the Tri-Cities. It features 45 channels of news, sports, and entertainment. We want to thank them very much for their support. Also, a number of other businesses support public television, but tonight we're here to ask for your individual support. Individual memberships make up about, let's see, I think we have about 2,500 of them now. 2,500 families throughout the Palouse, the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, northern Idaho, Spokane, all over this large area, pledge their support each year for public television. They give about an average of about $60. Some more, some less, depending on what they can afford. What you can afford is your fair share. We have some special membership thank yous at various pledging levels above that level to kind of give you a little extra incentive. They're all relating to the Civil War tonight. Please take this time, though, to pledge your support. Gary?
And the number is 1-800-922-4220. Our goal this break is 10 pledges, and we're a little over halfway there. We thank all of you who are calling. If you are one of the people who call tonight with a $500 gift to Northwest Public Television, $500, we will send you a copy of the program you're watching, The Civil War, which is Ken Burns' very fine documentary, again, that you're watching tonight. By the way, when you do call, if you would like one of the gifts and you qualify with the right amount of money, do tell us that you want the gift, because if we don't hear from you that you want it, we won't send it to you. It doesn't automatically come to you. So do tell us that the $150 you pledge is for the Civil War book, which brings me to the Civil War book. This is a fine companion to the program you're watching now with over 500 photos, some of them never released before this book was published. Just an incredible written history of the Civil War, something that you'll treasure for years to come. And that is for a $150 donation to Northwest Public Television. For $100, we will send you a video cassette of the Civil War tour sites, some of the battle sites from the Civil War, some of the battles that you're talking about tonight, such as Gettysburg, Antietam, and several others. That's $150. I'm sorry, that's $100. And also, if you charge by Visa or MasterCard, we have a copy of the letter that was written to his wife by Sullivan Ballou, who died 7 days after he wrote the letter. This letter was first read during the original episode of the Civil War on Saturday. And it's an incredible letter, very eloquent letter. So if you use a Visa or MasterCard to support Northwest Public Television, we will send you a copy of that letter. And again, if you would like any of the gifts that we've been talking about now, do tell us when you talk to our fine volunteers. Say, I'm pledging $500, I want the 9-tape set of the Civil War, or I'm pledging $100, I want the tour site. Do tell us, because if you don't tell us, we won't send it. 1-800-922-4220 is our number. Do call and support Northwest Public Television. Support the kind of programming you're seeing tonight, one of the most incredible documentaries in television history is what you're witnessing tonight, and it just doesn't come cheap. So do call and support this kind of programming. We're going to go back to the Civil War. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. Don't forget us during the programming, though. 1-800-922-4220, the Civil War on Northwest Public Television.